Greetings. When we talk about powerhouse couples, the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people are couples like Beyonce and Jay-Z. But there are many powerhouse couples that are right around us. They're couples that we don't get a chance to see that much or talk to that much. And so for the next few weeks or months, however long it takes, Unconditional Marriage Ministry will be interviewing power couples, and we thought that we would start with ourselves tonight. Okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right, so what we're going to do is we've got some questions on our table, and we're going to pick a question, and everything is going to last 30 minutes. How many ever questions we can answer in 30 minutes, then that's what information that you'll find out about this powerhouse couple. All right, shall we get started?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, you got the timer?
I do.
All right. So you want me to choose first?
I'll choose first.
Okay.
Question number one. What makes your marriage unique?
So what makes our marriage unique? I think our marriage is unique because one, we get along really well with each other. And I think because we're dedicated to working on it. And we really just, we enjoy spending time being with each other. And that in this day and age is somewhat unique, I think. Yeah, we really enjoy being around each other. We could literally spend all day together and just not be tired of each other. It hasn't always been that way, but
No.
yeah.
For me, I think what makes our marriage unique is our story. It's the part where, I watched you for 9 months. Just watch how you carried yourself and, things of that nature. And, began to pray over you after, the Lord showed you that, you were my wife. Because that was not my intent. So I think, that story within itself makes our marriage unique.
Definitely. I would definitely agree with that. Definitely. All right. Now that you've been married to me for 18 years, what would you tell your single self about dating me?
Wow. That's a pretty deep question right there.
You need me to read it again?
Thought-provoking.
You good?
No, I got it. What would I tell my single self in dating you now that I know all the things that I know about you? I would definitely go back and tell myself to be more patient.
You saying I'm difficult?
No, I'm not saying you're difficult. I think life within itself, the marriage itself, it bursts various things, with our marriage, or it brings to the surface, things that we may have thought that we dealt with, or didn't think we needed to deal with. But it shines light on those particular things, and sometimes we can find ourselves in situations that we never even fathomed that we're in. And so you have to be patient with each other. You have to extend grace to each other. You have to really allow those things to bring you closer together when in essence they're actually pushing you apart, but that's not what they're designed to do.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. And the same question for me now that I've been married to you for 18 years. What would I tell my single self about dating you? I would definitely agree with being patient. I would tell myself that he's not perfect. But that's not a bad thing because nobody's perfect. And I would just tell myself to just be patient with you, to give you some grace, to really find your space, and that everything is gonna work out fine.
Yeah, most definitely.
In the end, you're gonna get exactly what you prayed for.
That's it.
Yeah.
Amen. See what else we got over here. If you could heal a pain inside of me, what would it be and why?
If I could heal a pain inside of you, I think that I would heal your pain of insecurity. I knew from, once things got serious with us, I've always known you're a great man. And even during the hardest times of our marriage, ooh, I'm not gonna get emotional. Even during the hardest times of our marriage, I knew that you still were, no matter what happened or what went on between us, I've always known that you are a good man, and that you have the potential for greatness. But because of life, things that have happened, I still don't feel like you know that. You're getting better. I think with things that are happening to us now. I think you're seeing it, but I would definitely I would address your insecurities. I think of not being good enough, because you really are. You're really an awesome man, and I would take that pain away so that you would. I don't know if it's good if you would know how awesome you are. Maybe that wouldn't be good.
So what you trying to say?
But I would take that hurt of insecurity of not feeling like you're worthy away from you, because you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome.
What pain would I take away from you? I think back, to the beginning stages of our relationship. The pain, not necessarily take the pain away, but I would say help you to better deal with the pain, was the loss of your father. Because when we met, he had already been, deceased for many years.
Right.
And you would always say he left.
Yeah.
And so, that thing really stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize the magnitude of it at that particular time, but even years into our marriage, you still, wouldn't say that, your dad was deceased.
Right.
You stood on the ground of that your dad left you, and that was, far from the truth. And so, and realizing the ripple effect of that, that sense of control. I gotta control this situation because he may leave. Or on the other side of that, pushing me away. When our relationship was really starting to develop, you really kind of start like trying to push me away because of that whole abandonment thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was far from the truth. So yeah.
Ooh, okay, so he going deep like that. All right then. Can we take a break?
You started this. You started this.
How are we doing on time? Is that 30 minutes right up?
No,
Ooh, we still got time. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Whew. Yeah. During the toughest time of our marriage, what did you learn about me?
I think the toughest time in our marriage was, my infidelity.
Yeah.
But during that time, I came to understand and truly know what unconditional love is. Because you showed that to me. Not only did you show that to me, you gave that to me throughout that whole ordeal. And so, that gave me a deeper understanding of how, you know, Father God, you know, loves us in spite of us, you know. I remember, you know, in our dating years, or, you know, before we started dating, doing that 9 months, you know, and I'm talking to the Lord and I'm like, you know, hey, you know, this is not part of my plan. My plan is to get a better relationship with you, better relationship with the kids. And I said, you know, wife is nowhere in that picture. I've been married before. And he says, yeah, that was your choice. But this is the one, you know, that I've, you know, purposed for you. She's not what you want. She's what you need. All of those things that you have a desire to do, yeah, you can do them, but the level of which you do them will be greater with her. And it's like, you know, you don't really understand what love is, but she's going to show you.
Wow.
And so, you know, I don't think I ever shared that with you.
No, you didn't.
You know, so,
you didn't.
But just know, you know, you started this. You wanted this. You wanted this video, so.
Okay.
But, you know, these questions are just stirring up different things that I, you know, hadn't necessarily thought about. Not that I was trying to keep them from you or anything like that. It's just, you know,
just poignant questions.
It's poignant questions, and you know, it's very relevant.
Okay.
Right.
So, for me to answer that, during the toughest time of our marriage, what did I learn about you? A couple things. Again, I go back to the fact that, you know, I know that you were not perfect, but it was so good. Our foundation was so good, and the way things started with us was so good, to where I believed that you were as close to perfect as possible. You know, I still believe you're perfect for me, no doubt. But it showed me that you were human, and not only were you human, but that you hurt. It showed me that you had sensitivities and insecurities. And those were things that, you know, men don't really show. It showed me your vulnerabilities. And again, those are things that men don't show. And so those are a lot of things that I learned about you, was just that he's human and he hurts the same way I hurt. And I know that's real elementary, but because we don't see that in men. You know, you all are taught so many times, don't cry, don't feel, don't deal with emotions and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times we don't get the chance to see that.
Yeah.
But to walk through that journey with you, and to just really see your heart, and the hurt in your heart, and then to find out where, you know, it stems from, and that even though you had forgiven some things, you had not completely let go or dealt with them completely, because other things in life had triggered some things. So I think that's what I found out about you, more than anything, was that you were just a human person that had feelings and vulnerabilities and insecurities.
Yeah.
And you know, those were issues. It's funny because those were some of the issues that I knew that I had.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. I had never seen that part of you. Yeah, I'd never seen like the really insecure part of you, or the little boy part of you, the hurt little boy part. I've never seen that before. And so it just was eye-opening to see that, okay, he's not, you know, this superhuman person who doesn't have feelings.
Yeah.
He really is touched by a lot of things that have gone on, you know, throughout his life. And so, yeah, so it was eye-opening. I know that might sound bad, but It just, like I said, made me look at you as being more human, and really, because I saw you more human, I had more compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a whole lot more compassion because I saw you
Being authentic.
completely.
Yeah.
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 Whew.
Yeah. That's what happens, you know, you as you grow in this in this relationship, in this marriage institute of marriage, you know, you're able to, you know, be transparent, be authentic with each other, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
You know, that's because that's what Father God, He wants us to be. You know, He wants us to, you know, so that we can heal.
Yeah.
So that we can grow, and so that we can be. There's no crying on this video.
No crying, no crying. But you know what I was gonna say? I saw the Clark Kent and not just the Superman.
Yeah.
You know, because you always gave me Superman.
Yeah.
And we as women, we love Superman.
Yeah.
But we also love Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And so for the first time, I saw Clark Kent, and it was incredible for me.
And that's you know, that's hard for us, you know, but we have to grow to that, you know, we have to mature
Yeah.
to that space of understanding that it's okay, you know, as men, you know, we want to be Superman all the time, you know, we really don't care for Clark Kent, but you know, in essence, that's, you know,
That's your authentic self,
that's
though.
an authentic self, and
Yeah.
you know, that's who you guys really love is
That's right.
is Clark Kent, but you know, who wants to, you know, be exposed to whatever my kryptonite is, you know, whatever my weaknesses are, whatever my shortcomings are, but that's what marriage is all about. That's what this relationship is supposed to be about. We're supposed to be able to be, you know, transparent, naked
Before each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. I see you.
Yeah. Whew.
Okay, so when was the exact moment that you fell in love with your spouse?
I don't know when the exact moment was. I do know when I began to really understand that you were the one. At the mall, in the silver store. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, that was out at Piedmont.
Yeah, was it Piedmont? Same mall.
Perimeter
Mall. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to get checked because I was in that space of every 30 days giving him a pass to let him go. And you apologized to me that day for everything that had ever happened to me that a man had done to me, to hurt me. And that spoke volumes.
Yeah.
That spoke volumes. And you explained that, you know, the way that I'm treating you is the way that you're supposed to be treated. And, you know, I can honestly say I knew that what you were doing was the right way to treat me, because my father, I had an awesome father, but not dealing with his death allowed me to invite a whole lot of foolishness in my life.
Yeah.
With men. And so it had been a long time since somebody treated me the way my father taught me. The way my father and my mother taught me how a man was supposed to treat me. And so when you came into the picture and you apologized for everything that had ever happened to me, that just, that touched my heart. Nobody had ever done that. And, you know, you went on to say, this is the way a man is supposed to treat a woman who he loves and cares about. And that was a wake-up call for me, that I was like, ooh. Because I was never one of those chicks who would say, he's the one. You know, I might would say, I might have something here, but I never would say he's the one. But that day I was like, whew, I do believe. Yeah.
All right. When was the exact moment that I fell in love with you. You know, as I shared at church at Turner, when you were walking around, you know, doing offering time, and you had on the white blouse and the khaki skirt with the khaki heels, you know, and your virtuous woman tattoo was showing on your ankle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that, and then, you know, us walking around the park.
On our first date?
On our first date, but I knew that, you know, I was in love with you when I came over to your house and you were giving me the, was it the pedicure?
The manicure.
The manicure. And I laid all my cards on the table.
Yeah, you did.
I said, I told you any and everything about me. And I'm like, let's play a rule number one. You just laid it all out. I mean, everything on day one. So I knew then, you know. But you know, I came that night. It's like, you know, I want her to know everything about me, because you know what I'm saying. I wanted you to know that I wasn't trying to play games with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That I was being very real, very transparent.
You were.
And that was something way out of my comfort zone. And I knew, and I'm like, words never escaped me when it came to talking to a woman. And for me to be fumbling over my words and all of this kind of stuff.
I messed up his game.
I'm like, yeah. So yeah.
And your transparency scared me that night. I was like, oh, what in the world have I invited in my house? Do I have a stalker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what is the one thing in our relationship that you feel like you lost that you would like to get back?
You remember that chair we had?
You know what? There you go with that chair. If that's the only thing you can think of, that's not a bad thing.
That racketeering chair, man, that we had.
You know what? You're funny.
That thing there.
Are you serious? Just a chair?
I mean, you know, to be honest, I mean, being silly, but being honestly, yeah.
Okay.
That chair, because I don't, you know.
Everything.
We've had I feel like outside of, you know, my mess ups, you know, the things that, you know, that because of my insecurities and not knowing how to deal with the things that I was going through, that, you know, brought an issue to our marriage. Outside of those things, I stand on that we've had a great relationship.
I think so.
You know, and I think that's, that coincides with, you know, like from the beginning, we've always spent a lot of time together and we've always talked. And I think for the first maybe 6-7 years of our marriage, we only had one car.
Which was a saving grace for us.
We were always together. You know, either you was taking me to work, I'm taking you to work, come to pick me up, come to pick you up. And so we've had a lot of time to talk.
That's true.
About a lot of things. And so honestly, you know, outside of, like I say, my mess ups, I think we've had a great relationship. You know, because of my mess ups, you know, I know it caused you a lot of insecurities. You know, your self-confidence and all of those things. So if there was anything lost, it was those things, you know, at my, you know, the works of my hand. So yeah, I guess if I want anything back, it would be that.
Oh, it's back now, though. I said, what you talking about, man? I'm good now. Thank God for therapy and Jesus. I'm about to say I'm good now.
Yeah.
But okay. I agree. I think I think where we are now is a place that I wouldn't trade for the world. We're very transparent, very vulnerable with each other. We're really in a beautiful place and space. But as I said, or as we said, seriously, it's taking some time. It's taking some work.
Oh yeah.
And it's taking going through those insecurities, not only on your part, but on mine as well. But I'll be honest. If there was something that we could get back that I won't say that we lost, but that we just don't do enough of, it's just the spontaneous thing that we used to do, to where literally, and I think it's because jobs, the way our job situation is different now. But there was a time when you would come home on a Friday and you'd be like, let's go, and we would jump in the car and we'd go. We had special little places we would go. We might roll to Savannah or roll to Destin, or roll. We would just get up and we would just go. I kind of miss like those spontaneous moments, and like little just becauses. I miss those. Those were little special things, and so yeah, I wouldn't mind having some of those back. Now I don't know how.
I'm trying to do them things, but Caesar be blocking.
Oh, don't talk about the dog. Don't bring the dog into this.
Oh, look, Joe got plenty of sense now.
Don't bring the dog into this. But anyway, but yeah, those little things. But I won't say we've lost them. We just don't do them as much as we did then. But then it's because priorities have changed too. And like I said, with you being a truck driver now. I do feel like when you come home, we make special moments with each other. So we do special things with each other.
That's true.
So yeah, so I wouldn't say lost, but maybe we could do them a little more, especially them just becauses. But yeah, I think that will be it. All right, so I know we are at our half-hour mark, but I want to end by asking a question that I'm going to ask all of the couples. What would be your 5 ingredients for a healthy marriage? I'm asking you.
You're asking me?
I'm asking you. No, but I'm going to ask all the couples that we interview. Got to have that question.
I don't have 5.
Okay, so what will be your ingredients?
I think be kind, be sweet, be patient, and extend grace to each other.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our mantra. I mean, and we stand on that. I think that's the things that that breathe life back into our marriage.
Well, I got the one even before that though. I got one even before that though.
You got one even before that?
Yeah.
What's that?
The relationship with God.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I guess that goes without saying.
That goes
but
without saying.
Yeah, your relationship with God.
Yeah, but we can make sure that people are clear.
Yes, gotta have that relationship with God.
That's the foundation.
Exactly, that is the whole foundation. Yeah. Because without Him, you cannot be sweet, be kind, be patient, extend grace. You can't do any of that. Yeah. And you can't move from the storms to a place of peace. You can't show unconditional love. You can't do any of it.
You can't do marriage the right way, the way that it was designed, the way He created it to be, without having a relationship with Him.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you don't have a relationship with the Lord and He's not at the center of your relationship, there is no way.
Exactly.
That it's gonna, that it's gonna be how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And if you're not married, your foundation has to be Him. Yeah. If you're thinking about getting married, make sure that your foundation is based on Him. Because if you are married and y'all not there, come to know Him greater than you ever have. Because like I said, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna get you through. There's 2 times that I was telling somebody not so long ago, 2 times that you learn to pray greater than you ever have is when you become a parent and when you become a spouse. because you're dealing with each other's isms. Stuff a lot of times that you didn't even have anything to do with.
Yeah.
But when you look at your vows, you promise to love and to cherish and to for better, for worse, and richer for poor, and all that kind of stuff. You can only walk through that stuff if you have a relationship with God and you allow Him to lead you through that. Right. Mm-hmm. All right. So so our 5 would be, of course, having a relationship with God, strengthening your relationship with God.
That's it.
And then, as you said,
Be kind,
be sweet,
be patient,
and extend grace. Extend grace. Well, that's it. Unconditional Marriage Ministry. We are out. Again, this is Power Couples, the series. Stay tuned for the next couple. Be blessed.
be blessed.